Insiders, it's Nicole, aka NR the Insider, and I'm back with another video. Very important. Everybody's favorite topic, the LSAT. This is what you need to do to get that good score on the LSAT so you can get into that good law school and get that good scholarship money and be balling and live your dream life as a lawyer. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment before you even watch the video, okay? Because we're trying to get them likes up. We're trying to get up there. We're trying to get on, okay? So before we talk about LSAT tips, let me just tell you that I took the LSAT a few times. I increased my score each time I took it, and it was by following these tips. And I wish I knew these tips the first time I took it, but I didn't. I could just tell you what I know now. So here we go. Take a full timed practice test in the very beginning of your studying. I mean, before you even open a logic games book, before you open a Power Score Bible, Kaplan book, anything. Take a full timed practice test, because after that, you're going to be able to gauge what you're good at, what you're bad at, what your strengths and weaknesses are. Now, some people are really bad at timing, where they need a lot of time to read a passage or to read logic reasoning, logic games. Other people are not good at Some people can fly through the test, but they're doing everything wrong. Some people are not good at parallel reasoning questions. Others might not be good at certain types of logic games or certain types of reading comprehension passages. But you need to take a full-time practice test in the very beginning so you can map out your strengths and weaknesses. Don't be afraid to take the LSAT more than once. And I don't even know why anybody would be embarrassed about that. I mean, people take the bar more than once, like it happens. If you want to get the best LSAT scores possible, I highly recommend taking the LSAT more than once if you want to get a better score. I've seen lots of videos about like, oh, what's the likelihood of getting a better LSAT score, and read articles about how it's not helpful, but that's a lie. Like, if you figure out what you're not good at after taking a real test, because also real test versus at-home test is very different, then you can do better the next time. So I recommend people take the LSAT more than once if they need to. So throughout your studying, you should take many practice tests. Everybody has different study plans. Some people like to study maybe for a month and then take a practice test. Some people want to take a practice test every week, but you need to make sure that you're incorporating full-length practice tests throughout your study session. They can be timed, untimed, maybe a variation of both, but you need to start getting in the habit of taking that long beep test, because once test day comes, you're gonna be sitting in that chair tired as heck. So make sure you get used to taking full-length practice tests throughout your study period. And don't only do untimed tests. Make sure you do some timed tests too. I know it's hard and it's annoying because nobody wants to sit there with the timer and taking hours out of their day, but you need to do it if you want to increase your LSAT score. It'll be worth it in the end. You're making that money, not like this money green. No, I'm just playing. But seriously though, take time tests too, not just untimed. This is one right here. Don't rely completely on prep courses. Now let me tell you, I did a prep course in the very beginning of my LSAT studying. It was great. I kind of got the foundation, was able to take a full-time practice test and test in like a testing environment, but don't only rely on that unless you got a personal tutor or something like that. But I think that it's not harmful to take a prep course. Like, you'll get to understand the LSAT in a way that might be difficult to understand just by reading books. But I think you should also supplement that with books of your choice. And I have another video that I kind of talk about like my favorite LSAT books. But generally my point is, don't only rely on prep courses unless you really have like a really exclusive, unless you really have an exclusive course that's kind of like tailored to your needs. And most of them are not. Most of them are very broad. So make sure that you supplement the prep course with other things. When you're taking tests, you want to, or even just studying, you want to try to simulate the testing environment. You'll be in a quiet classroom. Well, I took mine. When I took mine, I was in a classroom. Many different people, very quiet. You got a little baggie with all the stuff you can bring. So as much as you can, try to simulate your test environment. Maybe go to the library where it's quiet, but there are other people around too that might distract you with like flipping pages. That's kind of what happens while you're taking the LSAT too. Bring only the things that you can bring for the LSAT, have a little timer, or even get used to using the watch, because I remember those days where you had to have your little watch and try to figure out what time, how much time you got left. Do all of that stuff. Simulate your test environment, because for me, when I was testing at home, I was feeling really relaxed, but then once I got to campus and I had to take the actual LSAT, your girl was stressed. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was stressed out. So try to simulate the testing environment. do not cram for the LSAT because you can't do it. If you're taking the LSAT in 3 days, you trying to learn, I don't even know, you trying to learn some very niche section of the LSAT real quick, I just don't think that's a good idea because you have to learn these things through practice and through repetition. But if you're trying to cram in the night before, oh, let me just do one more science-based reading comprehension passage or something, that's not gonna work. So cramming ain't it. You need to really be taking breaks at the end closer to the LSAT because you don't want to get burnt out. So don't try to cram, and make sure you have a study schedule that's conducive with that, okay? Don't only do the things that you're good at. And I had to break this habit. So I was really good at logic games. I had fun doing them. I always wanted to do them. But I was not improving in other sections because I was only trying to do logic games all the time when I was practicing. So don't do that. Once you know your strengths and weaknesses, do them every once in a while just to make sure you're keeping that skill up. But don't only do the things that you're good at. If you're really good at reading comprehension, okay, push it to the side and do the other 2 sections. Work on those because that's where the money is, okay? So insiders, I hope you enjoyed this video about my top LSAT tips. If you have any questions or suggestions for other insiders taking the LSAT, comment down below. Bye, insiders.